Okay, better be working this time. And here I is. Okay, the camera's working this time. I don't know if I like this camera or the other camera. I don't know if I like this camera. I think this camera is a little bit I think I need more lighting. Okay, the lighting's kind of coming. Okay, now the lighting's coming into me. Okay, the lighting's coming into me now. Okay, it's just the camera acting. It's just the camera acting. It's good. And now it's gone again. What the hell? Nah. I know. It's where I am. It's where the camera is. Yeah, it depends on the brightness. It depends on the brightness, I would say, because the light above me, I don't think it's enough to keep me. I have an idea. Ah, very good. I think if I do this, the light behind me too, it might help. Wow. Does this work? Does this help? I don't know if this helps. It's the lighting outside. Let there be more light. Let there be more light. And that should help. Okay. We're working with this. And now I can hear myself. I can hear myself on my phone. No, I do not want to hear myself on the phone. Thank you. Anyway, okay, we're finally here. We got it back. A little bit of finally, for once, the audio wasn't the issue. It was actually my camera being the issue. But the reason for that is, now you should see that this camera is a lot better than what I was using for the last 3 or so streams. So it should look a lot better. Because I'm actually using my main camera, my actual DLS, the one that you would see me using when I'm in Dublin. But I actually have that hooked up now. The only issue with it, as far as I can see it, really depends on lighting. So we keep trying different things, but you should see that the audio, not the audio quality, but the camera, the visual quality is definitely a lot better with this camera on. So yay! And guys, I'm getting hairy again. I get hairy so quickly. Like, what is up with this? I get hairy so quickly. Yeah. And I have my hair just down to the side at the moment, with a little bit of kind of coming through here, so you can see everything better. You can see the kitchen. I'm right next to the fridge. In case I want something, I'm right next to the fridge. And also I'm in full frame as well, which is good. So there we go. Adam, welcome, my good man. Hope you're keeping well. How are you? Salami, how are you doing, Salami? How are you? How's your gaming? How's the gaming going? Akino Shiro, big muscle flexing. Thank you, my good man. Thank you so much for that lovely subscription once again. Keeping everything going. And guys, I'm going to be back in Dublin in just over 3.5 weeks. So about 3.5 weeks. And here comes the clouds again. The clouds are coming. I cannot be doing this. I cannot work under these conditions. I think I'm going to have to move the camera even more into the lighting, and I'm just going to have to turn this way. I think I'm going to have to do that because this is just like, I'm not able to work in these conditions. Let me turn on another light. Might work. This work. No, it's not like. Wait. This might work. Okay, this might be a bit more lighting. Okay, this is a bit. Okay, this is not too bad. Okay, this is better. Oh, you like it dark and mysterious, says Kanzo. Kanzo, my chicken fillets are keeping good. How dare you miss a flex? You can't make stories. Also, by the way, Pec Slicker, big muscle flexing. Welcome to you. Thank you for pressing that follow button. Just as the other stream was was going on. So for those who were wondering, if you were like going, okay, you were streaming, then you're off streaming, now you're on streaming. Literally, my camera has been causing me some issues. Now it's resolved. So I had to stop the stream, start the stream, stop the stream, start the stream, just to work it. How it is, I know. Lights in this economy. How dare these lights fail me? So when it's nice and bright outside the window here, great. But the moment a cloud moves over the sun, it's giving me issues. And the lights here, they're very small above me. So, yeah. So, I kind of have to work a little bit with what I got while I'm on holiday, guys. So, in about 3.5 or so weeks, I'll be back to my regular? What the hell was I trying to say? Regular studio setup, so then everything will be perfect quality again, provided nothing goes wrong on my return to Dublin. But yeah, so you know, not too much longer until everything is spick and span once again. And also the good thing is that my internet connection here seems quite stable now compared to 2 streams ago, where it was very crazy. So sorting little things one bit at a time. But I am trying my best while I am abroad to have some sort of stream. And also with the OnlyFans, for people who've been asking about OnlyFans, that has now restarted again. And lighting, guys, the lighting's going to keep going like this until the sun decides to give me proper lighting. I'm a little bit dark and mysterious. This is a good moment for a low lighting flex. So it's all good. Yeah, Salami, I'm doing great, just playing Genshin while here. How's Genshin going? They brought out a new patch recently, didn't they, Salami? Joe says, I didn't know you had a boyfriend, congratulations, boy. I'm dating, not BF, dating. So that's something to be decided, and that's a very tough thing for me to decide. And that's on me. It is difficult. So like, I know there's people watching me right now because I know some of your backgrounds from being with me streaming for over a year now. I know from some of your backgrounds, multiple of you have had long distance dating or long distance relationships or something like that. And that's definitely what I've been going through for a very long time now. We've been changing how would I say it? We've been changing how we should work, I suppose. Yay, the sun is back, yay, so my brightness is coming back, therefore I'm happy. So we've been changing different ways of how we should work, how blah blah blah, and it's just being a bit of a roller coaster in my head on how I should act, behave, yada yada. So that has definitely affected other things in my life, and yeah, it's just one of those things. Jay's a light size queen. I am a size queen for my lighting. The lighting here is not adequate. I cannot work in these conditions. But yeah, Kagamine Bass, I hope you're doing well, my good man. And always a pleasure to have you here as well. Konzo, hope you had a fab holiday. It's going good. We're trying to figure out travel plans at the moment, making sure he gets time off as well. Right now he's at work, then he's going to get a haircut, then I have to go meet him at the gym. So I have to travel into downtown Miami to get there in 2 hours time or so. So yeah, guys, you have me for just under 2 hours today, But once we are back in Dublin, the streams will be their usual 4 to 5 hours length, twice a week. All the website stuff, all the games, all the other stuff, and we'll be having great times there. And everything will be back to normal, all scheduling stuff, everything. Right now it's been difficult because the main reason for that is my laptop. So I hoped that my laptop will be able to handle a lot of the things that I'm doing while abroad. unfortunately, although the laptop is only 3 months old, 3 years old, it's not suitable enough for the work that I wanted to get done on it. So things have been put definitely behind. I've been able to record, which is great. I've been able to record, but streaming wise or putting it together into videos and things has definitely been a huge challenge, and still is a huge challenge. But the good thing is I have lots of content being made, you know, definitely for when I get back. So definitely those who are looking out for my latest videos on YouTube, you will not be disappointed. Just keep searching. I will announce it anyway on Discord. So if you are on my Discord, definitely check out my Discord links, and then you can definitely check out my YouTube. I always announce when I have a new YouTube video coming out, but as I said, things are going to be delayed because I'm traveling. My laptop isn't doing its job, my hopeful job of getting it all together. So just have to bear with me on that type of thing. Pexlicker, first time here. I'm really liking your mood, really uplifting. Good to hear, my friend, good to hear. And also, once again, guys, with the OnlyFans, I've just started reposting after a 2-week break. That was getting in, settling in here, and sorting things. So don't worry, lots more content coming on the OnlyFans as well. So if you've been looking for content, it's right there now. Definitely, check it out. It was uploaded last night. Chaos says, sounds tiring. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, Chaos. It's going okay. Lightheart, I do need a nap, but thought I'd stop by. Well, Lightheart, you know you're always welcome here, even if you just want to watch me while in bed. You know you're more than welcome to do that. Kaga says, I feel that I've been taking on and off with this guy for 2 years, and we've been just keeping things open and casual for now. Yeah, Kaga, I'd love to give you such a easy, straightforward answer, but I don't think anything, when you try to do something long distance, it's never straightforward. There's always an issue, or there's always something, and you kind of sit back sometimes and you think, is it worth it? Should I be doing this? And then you're like, the heart wants what the heart wants, right? So the heart wants what the heart wants, but also at the same time, you're thinking, okay, logically with your brain, wait a minute, why are you doing all this? Why are you spending all this, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's basically, so just to kind of break it down, during COVID, hey Pensword, by the way, I forgot to say Pensword at the start of the stream. Hey to you, my lovely aspiring bartender and author to be. I hope you're doing much better right now. So just to break it down, guys, during COVID, as a lot of us probably were, and maybe still are, I guess a lot of us were lonely, or feeling that, you know, you're feeling that you need to connect with people, but you were forced into lockdowns and you were like isolated from the world. And yes, you could talk to your friends online, you can WhatsApp, you can Instagram them, you can whatever, you know, or you can FaceTime a few people here and there. But what happened with me is that one of my mutual friends of Louise, who I'm here visiting in Miami at the moment, one of my mutual friends actually messaged me on Instagram being like, do me a favor and message this person. And I was like, okay. So I messaged him, we hit it off, we got along really well, had lots and lots of FaceTime chats. He came to visit me. Then we went back to where we were, still going, okay, so what now, yada yada. I was doing all my stuff. I eventually got to move to Dublin, so I was doing all my stuff there. Then we went on a holiday together for 2 weeks in Europe, and then came back. Then we tried something different with our long distance type thing. I know. I explain things so amazingly, don't I? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm not great with talking about relationships and stuff. So yeah, I came back from Europe, decided to try, you know, different things, see what works, what doesn't work. unfortunately, we hit a point. Two times this has happened. We hit a point where I couldn't continue this anymore, and that happened. The second time that happened, one time it happened during the summer, when we were still in lockdowns, and the USA was completely closed to all non-US residents. I'm sure a lot of people saw that. It was closed for a very long time to non-US residents. So I knew there was no way we were going to see each other anytime soon, months into the future. And I was just like, what's the point in going through all this? Yada, yada, yada. Long story short, ended it, reconnected. We reconnected, tried to work it back again, met up, then the USA opened, then things went south again, and decided to stop it again. And I did my own thing because I was settling into Dublin as well. It was coming into Christmas at this time too. Into my new apartment as well. Then I went for my break in Madrid, where all my friends had a fucking amazing time for a whole week of just non-stop partying and such for New Year's into start January. Still continued to do my own thing, and reconnected again before February. After a couple of weeks of just barely texting or anything like that, we reconnected, tried to work it out again, and then I kept to my promise. So my original promise was, I will come visit you. I will come visit you. And ta-da, here I am. So I kept to my promise, and pretty much, so you know, is I'm here to see how things work, whether they work or whether they don't work. That's what this is going to decide. So pretty much that's where I am. So my mind, as people can probably appreciate when it comes to different things, my mind has been all over the place in a roller coaster, and sometimes it affects everything. Sometimes it affects everything. Depends on how you think, I guess, and how you let things get to you. But it can definitely throw things off when you're just not quite sure on what you want in life, or what you want. Where you want to be or what you want to do right now. Because I definitely want to focus on myself. I definitely have a lot of things that I need to do and that I do. I have a lot of things that I'm doing, and can I afford to have this extra thing while trying to do everything else? Is there a way to balance it out? Does something need to go to make something else work? And then on top of that, for those who are in long distance relationships, eventually you're going to have to bridge that gap, right? Do I move? Do you move? How is this going to work? Visas, things like that. There's so many questions when it comes to it. It's just hard to process it all in your head. But yeah, look, that's me being upfront, honest. Everything's out in the open. What I've been going through for like a year and a half or thereabouts right now. About a year and a half now it's been. It's just been a roller coaster. On, off, casual, not so casual. It's been nuts. It's been crazy. Gusgon 90, big muscle flexing. Welcome to you, Gusgon. Thanks for pressing the follow button a few minutes ago. Jose says furrylicious. I'm absolutely furrylicious right now, Jose. Extremely furrylicious at the moment. Laser Ghost Wolf is asking for a big lovely muscle hug. Of course you can have a big muscle hug, Laser. You gotta get those lovely hugs, because I don't have a teddy bear right now, so you're just going to have to deal with me, a real life teddy bear, giving you the hugs, okay? So I'm just going to have to give you the hugs instead. It's just how it has to be, my friend. There's nothing you can do now. I know you wanted me to hug the teddy bear, but I'm going to hug you instead. So I hope all that lovely warmth and energy, that feel good vibes, all went your way right there with those hugs. Aquino says, I know that feeling, and he is in the same city with me, but we are happy at this moment in time, says Aquino. Well, Aquino, it's good that you understand, and especially with Kaga as well. I know you both understand that particular situation, and I know there's other people in this chat who definitely have been going through long distance related either currently or have been in the past. Pensword says, had an interview yesterday for a server position. It went great. The owner is a Brit, so that was cool. I have a good feeling about this one. Well, Pensword, it's good that you're getting yourself back out there after your unfortunate circumstances. And look, that can happen to anyone. Unfortunately, personal tragedy, death in the family type thing, that would throw anybody off. You'd have to be like a heartless monster to not have a very close, personal tragedy, family tragedy, to not affect you. So the fact that you're actually getting yourself back out there, is just testament to how strong of a person you really are. So give yourself a pat on the back. I know we are here for you, and I wish you all the best with that position. Let us know on Discord what the outcome of that job position is, because right now I'm sure a lot of people know this, but it's quite expensive to live right now. Things are going up and up and up in price all over the place, from minor things to things that you need on a daily basis, more or less, whether it's electricity, whether it's fueling up your car, or whether it's just food, whether it's your rent, or all these different type of everyday bills that most of us have to go through. Most of them are starting to go up, and we're going like, okay, how the hell am I going to afford all this type of stuff if this continues to be the trend? It's like, when will I get a break type of thing? So yeah, like a lot of people are definitely in a lot of they're suffering right now with the constant inflation that's going on in many countries, if not every country in the world, in all different, every different country is a bit different. Some are getting it more than others. Some governments are really helping out with subsidiaries and things like that, really trying to help, subsidies, with trying to help out, and there you go. But what I would say to people who are going through a lot of financial issues at the moment, a lot of governments, you'd be surprised, a lot of governments will have different schemes and things that you can sign up to. Just definitely give a look and see what you're entitled to as a citizen of your country, because you'd be surprised that you could be saving, a good amount of money every month through a scheme that you didn't even know if you could sign up to. So that's what I would advise to people who are maybe, suffering that pinch a little bit more right now. Definitely check what your government or local authority may be able to help you with, because you'd be surprised, as I said, about the amount of support your government may be able to provide you. So governments can be very good that way. They can also be very shit that way. But that's a different topic. John Blake, I hope you're keeping well. I know when the sun comes in and I'm all nice and light up, but when the sun doesn't come in, I'm not as lit up and I'm a lot darker in appearance. I definitely know that. And there's nothing I can do about it right now. I am thinking for the next stream I'll put the camera over this side, so it should be okay no matter what, and I'll just face this way. That might do it, because this camera that I'm currently using, which is different from my laptop camera, my Sony camera is definitely, it definitely is reliant on good lighting. And since the lighting comes and goes depending on if it's sunny or if there's clouds coming in, which there definitely is right now, clouds, that can happen. but the overall the picture quality will be better on my camera that I'm using right now compared to, you know, the last couple of streams. So in the last couple of streams, there would be, over on this side in particular of the camera, there would be a lot of kind of fuzziness, and that's just another part of it. So so now it's going to get rid of that. So it's all good. John Blake says, you look so much better with the lights. I know. I definitely look a lot better with the lights, but that's one thing that we have to just put up with. Why, until I'm back in my official studio setting in Ireland, we're going to have to put up with a little bit of, you know, not so optimal results when it comes to streaming. But here we are. But at least the main thing is I'm still streaming, so I haven't forgot about it. I might not be able to stream as regularly or as much right now, just due to the situation. But in a few more weeks, I'll be back in my apartment in Dublin. I'll have my studio all ready, and we'll be good to go as well. Just joshing around, just joshing. Hey to you, my good friend. I hope you're keeping well. Pensword says, yeah, he asked why I left my previous job, and I had to tell him he was definitely more empathetic than my last boss. Well, that's good. Look, how it is, you know, how it is, Pensword, is such personal, tragic circumstances. You know, some employers will definitely be able to empathize with you. To be honest, everyone can. But some employers will choose not to show that versus others. And it doesn't mean that they're heartless as such. There might be so many different reasons for it. Maybe it's because in the past they've been hurt multiple times, stung, should I say, multiple times by multiple employees, you know, either coming in late, taking many days off, just quitting on the spot because of, let's say, deaths in the family, or just, you know, and maybe after a long time of hearing it, no matter how empathetic you want to be or try to be, you just get sick of it and be like, ugh, here we go again, you know? So sometimes that might come into it too. But it is good to hear that this potential new boss who you just had an interview with was empathetic, that the reason you left your last job was because of a personal family tragedy, of course. So let's hope. And look, to be honest, guys, I think it is a very valid reason to leave a work if you honestly cannot bring yourself back to it for a while, is because of a personal family tragedy. You know? If you honestly feel you can't work, then you just can't work. And it doesn't have to be just a personal family tragedy. It can be for so many reasons. Maybe you had a really bad breakup. Maybe life has been just so shit, you know, or maybe, you know, lots of things have been just happening and they've been weighing you down. You know, life has just been getting to you, and you just need that, like, you just are like, you know, you just want to scream. You know, you want to go up to the top of the roof of the tallest building and just scream and be like, why? You know? Like, and sometimes you just need a break from it all. You know, you don't want to work. You choose not to work. Yes, it's going to hurt you financially at X, Y, Z. But, you know, if you need to take time off because of something that's really troubling you, then you have to. It's as simple as that. And Kino says, yeah, and I decided to move out of my house right before things go up in price. I'm an idiot. Kino, well, look, things going up in price, it's, you know, as I was saying a couple of minutes ago there, it's just how everything is right now, unfortunately. I think millennials in particular are going to suffer the most when it comes to it, because from what I can see is millennials don't really want to settle down. They don't want to own a house. They just want to rent, move. That seems to be the kind of and also not work. That seems to be like the millennial mindset or something like that. But you know, having your own place, whether it's through the bank due to a mortgage, you know, it is a lot better situation to be in than, you know, hoping your landlord isn't going to increase the prices of your apartment or house or whatever the situation is. Yeah, absolutely. But then again, you could buy a house, okay? You might have the money and you might be able to buy a house, and then all of a sudden the price of that house is going to drop drastically. So if you ever decide to sell in the future, it's going to go to hell down. You know, it's not going to be worth the same thing, you know? Stoic Gaming says, just listening in, some of those programs may not be well advertised because they don't want people to go into them. Government programs, that is. I hear that one, my friend. Like, I remember a few years ago, when was it? It was about 3 or so years ago. And I needed that extra assistance for myself as well, because I got into I'm not going to elaborate too much into it, but I got into a bit of a really dark space for myself. And that was due to a job that I was working in at the time. And I came out of it after being in that job for years. I came out of it and I was just absolutely just you're deflated. I was completely burned out. I was just not myself. If someone said hello to me, I'd almost rip their head off, kind of thing. I was just not in a good place at that time. And now obviously if you talk to me, you're like, I can't imagine you like that. Yeah, I can't imagine myself like that either. Until it happens. You know? So yeah, it's just how it is. I was in a really dark place. I needed that extra support for a while. I looked into different programs, found one that I could actually apply to due to my circumstance, and it worked. And on top of it, actually, they gave me there was another assistance program, not money assistance, but it was for a therapist. So it was someone I could go to once a week, talk about my work life, talk about everything that's happening, why I'm feeling in such like this, you know, really shitty space right now. And she just told me what I needed to hear, you know. I could go and rant to all my friends, I could go and rant to my family, but it would not have been the same. But getting that professional assistance, and also it was provided once again due to my situation by the government for free even, it was just great. Because when I first was looking at things, looking into things, my doctor said to me, was like, do you want medication? And I was like, no, I don't want like antidepressants. I don't want whatever, you know, other things he was going to offer me to get through this period that I just this shitty period that I was going through at that time. I didn't want medication for it. I wanted to do it myself. And the best way to do it myself was talking about it. Hence that program, hence that assistance. When I started to feel better, then I could go and I could actually think again. And then, you know, after a long period of time, COVID happened, you know, your thoughts are all over the place. A good part of me, you know, just marched on through it. I got things done, opened my fitness website, you know, expanded into streaming, eventually got my YouTube up and going, and that obviously has taken a bit of a slow period now because I'm on holiday trying this thing. But, you know, I have these things all kind of building. And during COVID, there's definitely been times when I was just like, oh my God. But yeah, you just get there. You're stronger than you think you are, you know? Peg Slicer says, ouch, that hits too close to home. Stoic, oh hell, I'll never own I'll never own a house or able to afford one. I've just accepted that. Thankfully, I imagine Ireland probably has decent social systems. MD general practitioners and psychiatrists are next to impossible to get, says Stoic. My first bout with antidepressants was terrible. Can relate. Yeah, like I'll give you a very personal. I'll give you a very personal story, guys. Is that I have two members. I have two members in my family who, for most of their life, my father in particular, and one of my brothers. That's the two people in question. They have been on so many different. Now, this is for their own, mental health reasons. I'm not going to go into the specific reasons, obviously, but they have been battling with their own mental situations for most of their lives, and they've also been reliant on medication to help. All this, like, I remember growing up, and I used to see all these different pill boxes, all these different containers. I was like, what the fuck are all these? Like, you need to take all these every day just to feel normal, normal, or good, or whatever, okay, fine, whatever, you want to call it. And I was just there being like, I can't do that. I could never, need, I never want to be reliant that I need all this medication just to make me feel good. Or, just make my mind think the way it's meant to think, or, whatever they all do. I don't know. As I said, there was so many different ones. I have no idea what each one was. I guess in a way I would just categorize them all in just one simple box and be like antidepressants, or, even though they're all different things. Mood enhancers or whatever, So I used to look at them, and that was my main reason for when the doctor a couple of years ago, as I said in my story, that when he offered me antidepressants because I was in a really shitty place in my life, I was like, no, I do not want to turn out like my brother and one of my brothers, and I don't want to turn out like my father. Not that they're bad people. I don't want to. What I'm trying to say is that I don't want to turn out like them, in that they're reliant on these pills. Now, the great news is that over time they have been able to decrease the quantity and the amounts of all the different stacks of pills that they had to consume. So that was great. Obviously, that's fantastic. But you probably have friends, family members, maybe even yourself, that are reliant on one medication, two medication, three, maybe even like 5+ different medications every single goddamn day just to function. Do you know when you're starting to get to know someone, like a new friend or maybe even a new lover, and then let's say if you slept over, or maybe you just like went to their house one day and you just saw them like taking all these different all these different pills, you'd be surprised what people consume on a daily basis, and you think they look great, they look happy, whatever, and then you see them when you go to their house, or and you see, oh yeah, I just need to take this medication, this medication, this medication, this medication, and I'm just like, wow. I'm so lucky. I have zero medications that I have to take on a daily basis. The only things that I take on a daily basis are vitamins, just multivitamin, just to kind of, just to make sure that it touches all bases, that I'm getting in the vitamins if I'm not properly getting it from my food. But that's it. One simple pill, and that's a vitamin, and it's not it's not medical or anything like that. So count yourselves lucky, and be grateful that if you don't need to rely on all these different medications, whether they're mental health focused, whether they're like immuno response focused, or some sort of other medical issue that you might be suffering from. There are so many people out there who are, they'd be crippled by it. And the worst thing actually, now that I'm on it, is that some of these people, or probably not some, most of these people, they're probably so they're probably so reliant on all these medications, and that their government mightn't be able to, assist them with it. So they probably have to spend a hell of a lot of money for some of these tablets that they're getting, because obviously with lots of government systems you can get them for practically nothing, like very, very cheap. But then obviously there's some medication that might not be covered, or maybe none of it is covered, or depending on what it is, or and maybe the severity of it. And you might literally have to make a decision: do I want to eat today, or do I want to afford my medication? And that would be heartbreaking to need to make such a decision. And it doesn't even have to be medication. It could be, can I afford to eat today, or do I need to pay my rent? That type of thing. Like, there's people going through that, like, every day. Like, thousands, if not millions of people are making that choice every single day throughout the world. Can I afford to eat today, or do I need to pay this bill, this thing, kind of thing? It's awful. And that loops us right back to when I was talking about the rising costs of just living, the rent, bills, all the different types of bills out there, yada yada yada. So it loops back nicely, although it's disgusting. It is a nice loop back to what we were talking about in the beginning. Stoic says, I recall you mentioned you worked in banking. Was this during the big recession in Ireland? You know what? I only worked in banking temporarily, and that was only during one of my college. It was more. It was work experience for a little while. So that's when I first worked in banking. After that, I worked in business. So I was working in, I worked as a trainer. Well, I worked in multiple different jobs. I worked as a sales assistant. I worked in customer service. I worked as a trainer for a company. A trainer being, I teach people. Like I'd get a class and I teach people. Like, this would be a huge corporation. I teach people in this class. There might be 10 to 20 people per class, and I teach them all the stuff that they need to know about the product, okay, the company and the product, etc. And then I go through all the systems with them, yada yada yada. So basically I was in charge of teaching the new hires to the company. So if you had a successful interview, I was the next person you saw. And I bring you all the loveliness. I brought you all the happiness. I brought you all the laughs. I brought you the really cool slide presentations. I was so proud of my slides, guys. I made all of my presentation myself. I fucking did the work. And I fucking loved it. But I wanted more. As much as I loved being a trainer. Now, and when I say trainer, once again, I'm on about company trainer. At this same time, I had a second job. I was a class trainer. So that would be in a gym environment. So I used to teach multiple different fitness classes as well. So I had two jobs going at the same time. One that occurred from morning until early evening. And then the other one, it wasn't every day that I had to do the second one, which was the gym one. I'd also have a couple of hours in the gym doing PT type work too, and that would be in the evenings. So I was very busy for a couple of years doing all this. I eventually wanted more, and I decided to apply for a higher position in the company, which was middle management. So I wanted to be a team leader. I wanted to get to know, systems more. I wanted to know the business, the proper business side of the business. I wanted to know the numbers. I wanted to know about spreadsheets, Excel, sending all those really fancy, professional emails. Ooh, who doesn't like a lovely professional email? I know I do. So I wanted to do all the fancy stuff. I wanted to go to the client meetings. I wanted to wear my suit, my shirt, my tie. I wanted to be like, yeah, I'm accomplishing something. I'm in a fucking suit. Or else at least a shirt and a tie. Whatever it was. It's like, yeah, I'm a big boy now. I'm a big boy. In my fucking suit and my polished shoes, you know. Oh yeah, looking swank. So I decided that I wanted to apply to be a manager in the company, and I got it. I worked my fucking ass off. I shadowed. So how I did it, for anyone who wants a little bit of a tip, if anyone wants to go higher up in their company, I have a very big tip for you. Go to your manager and ask if there's any possibility that you could shadow his work or her, you know, gender aside, but can you shadow them? So if that's basically being like their assistant. It's not an official position, but they're teaching you in the ways of management. You're learning through them, just the basics. Like maybe once a week or twice a week, they'll be like, "Oh, can you do this report for me?" So you're getting a bit of experience through your manager by shadowing their work. They teach you, and it's like monkey see, monkey do, right? So it's like, I teach you, you see this, now you do it for me. So you're doing each other a favor. And then over time, maybe more and more of that may be led your way, and maybe a position will come up for maybe an assistant manager or a manager or something, you know, just a little bit higher up than where you are right now. And that might be that little extra bit of sugar, that little bit of extra icing on the cake, and being like, you know what? I can add this to my resume. I assisted my manager with this. I put reports out. I sent this. I sent that. I assisted with this. You know, you have this list now, and your manager will also back you up. You know, provided you did a good job and he believes in you or whatever. So that's one great way of trying to go up in a company, especially if it's a big company. A lot of companies like to internally hire, so that means they like to employ people who are existing in the company already. It's generally when they don't have the talent from within that they have to look to, you know, externally recruit. So that's when the advertisements go up on LinkedIn. That's when the advertisements go up on whatever jobs website that you're looking at, or, you know, go out to the agencies, yada yada yada, go into the newspapers. So that's when those jobs get advertised, when they can't, you know, pick homegrown talent because no one has the skill. Or maybe someone has the skill, but they don't want to leave them progress because they need them in that position right now. And it might take a while to fill that position. So there's lots of different things. So my key tip is to try and ask the person who's above you, can you shadow them? If they have any availability, at least express interest, because if you express interest, then they'll know. They're never going to guess that you're going to want to do it. They might think you might want to do it, but they don't know until you go up and you have the courage to be like, I would love to progress in this company. That shows the fire. That shows your want, your desire, you know? And that's what people look for. They want those hungry people. So that's a little tip of how I did. Because actually, to move from that trainer position in the company to then get to the management position, that's exactly what I did. I asked my managers, who I fucking loved. I adored these women. Most of my managers at the time were women. And as the company grew, then they employed even more managers, and it just turned out the latter half happened to be all men, more or less. Just how it was. So I used to love this group of managers, all working together. They knew me really well, and I went up to each of them and being like, "This is what I want." And they all worked out between them. Okay, what can I give for you? What can I help you with? Blah blah blah. And boom, good relationship. Rapport, as you definitely would hear it as being called in business, rapport is extremely important. So yeah, I got the management job, stayed in that for quite a while, and eventually, yeah, that's to round off the entire story, guys, when we were talking about mental health and all this stuff. That's after a long period of time, it just broke me down. I handled it, but the thing is that I did too much. I took on too much. And I wanted to keep that positivity that I was well known for in the company, that positivity. I wanted to keep that yes man attitude. I can do it. Yes. Who can do this? I can do it. You know, it's like, yeah, me. You know, maybe there was a bit of, I don't know, maybe there was this satisfaction, this job satisfaction that kicked in, being like, you did a good job, you know, and I wanted to hear that. You being like, yeah, thanks to you, this was done. I'm like, yeah, credit, wah. But as I learned, taking on too much for a long period of time, months and months and months in a row, leads to burnout. And definitely that started to trickle down into every aspect of my life, because I was too tired to do this. I didn't want to do this. My mind was just not in it. My energy was all over the place. I was getting pissed off at people. I was getting pissed off at my co-workers. I was getting pissed off at the staff below me, positioned below me. All these different things. And I was like, I can't be like this. This is not me. You know, I'm this happy, smiley, you know, in a way carefree guy. And I was everything but that for a very long period of time. And there we go. And that's kind of like wrapping up a big story. And I definitely needed, as I said, to get out of it. And I did. I did. I got out of that dark period of my life after that job, where I was burnt out and blah blah blah. So many different things in my head, and yeah, I got out of it and worked towards where I am right now. And trust me, this is still a struggle as well. You know, this can be a struggle too. Okay, back to the chats. Let's see who might be able to relate to anything I may have said there in the last couple of different points. So everything I've been saying in one way rounds out to another thing that I was talking about. So it works really well. It works really well. Okay. Pen Sword. I remember when I was on medication, it was no cakewalk. Absolutely not, my man. Stoic. And did you find to contribute to wanting to leave the industry? Yes, I wanted to leave the industry after all the shit that happened. Absolutely. And that's why I left that particular environment. And I felt so much happier for it. You know what? One of the most liberating feelings that you can get is when you can walk into your job and being like, I'm done. I'm out of here. Here's my notice. This is the reason why. And then you serve you serve your 2 weeks or it depends on what it is. I think mine was 3 weeks notice, something like that. But my manager was really good to me, being like, if you want to come back any time in the next 6 months, I think he said 6 months. Might have been a bit longer, but I think he said 6 months. If you want to come back any time in the next 6 months, your position is here for you. And just hearing that acknowledgement, like, he understood exactly why I had to get out. He wasn't stupid, you know. He went through, funnily enough, something similar in a previous job. That's why I think he kind of really empathized with my situation more so. And I told all the managers, I didn't bullshit anyone. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, you know, realistically, you know, and this is the reason why. But my boss in particular, the man directly above me in the chain of command, like, he pretty much said, look, if you want your position back in 6 months, it's there. So I knew that if I did want it, if once I calmed down and just needed to sort my shit out, that, look, I have it. But it turned out I didn't need it. I didn't want it. Not that I didn't need it. I didn't want it anymore. But yeah, it was just great to hear that you did. You know, you were such a. You know, you did a good job. That you have your position if you want it. It's a very. it's an amazing thing to hear. It's an amazing thing to hear. John says, I have heard several people have various problems due to the pandemic, and I wonder, am I bad if I haven't felt like that? I mean, I feel horrible about everything that people have been through, but personally, it's been very calm being at home and in a way just breathing. You know what, John Blake? No. Absolutely not. You're not bad for not feeling it because you had your own way of handling it. For you, being at home was you being calm. You were able to sort out the things that you needed to sort out. In a way, for many people, from what I heard from my own personal close circle, taking that step back from life, because a lot of my friends, they're very busy. Big go, go, go. And I'm the same. Go, 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 go. But the pandemic helped us reel it back in and kind of think and be like, you know what? There's more to life than this. And a lot of companies followed suit, being like, you need to be in this building all the time. And you know it. I'm sure you hear it all the time, guys. Maybe even your own job right now, maybe. You get to stay at home now. You can work from home. Whereas your company would have never would have thought of that before. But now it's like, okay, yeah, you can. So lots of solutions, lots of business solutions and other solutions to many problems were answered thanks to the pandemic. So there has been good things. There has been good things that were brought out from the pandemic. Like you can carry on with your day to day. You're at home. You're in your happy place. You don't have to go to the office. You don't have to interact with people as such, at least in person, on a daily basis, maybe anymore. And you're just happy, and that's great. You're so thankful for, as you said, just breathing. You're just, waiting to exhale. And I definitely had moments myself where I really enjoyed just being at home, and I was like, I just want to relax today. I don't, and whereas before I'd be like, you cannot relax, you need to do something, just something. But now I take a step back when I know my head is not in it. Even when it comes to streaming, sometimes, it's not often, but if I just feel I cannot sit in front of a camera today, or I can't record something today, or I can't do something, I'm like, don't worry about it. Do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. It will be still there. Just announce it. People will understand. If you're not feeling it, guys, don't put yourself through it unless you have no other choice, I suppose. But there you go. Luckily, it doesn't happen often for me in streaming. But if it does, I know you guys would understand. I can't do it today. I'm just not able to. And it might be because I'm really busy. Things just happen out of nowhere and all my time is gone. I'm just like, wah. Or else it's literally, I just can't bring myself to sit down in front and talk to people today. And that's just how it is. And I kind of wonder sometimes, and I do want to ask different streamers, particularly the really high up streamers, how they handle that, because there was a couple of articles that came out, particularly just after the first year of the pandemic, because streaming became even bigger during the pandemic, because lots of people, of course, were stuck at home, they needed entertainment, you name it. Some things just bloomed during that time. But then when things started to get better, a lot of streamers were burnt the hell out because they spent even more time streaming than maybe in the past, or their newfound fame or popularity, for example, they're kind of going, okay, so how do I juggle all this now that I can also go back outside and do this, and I can do that, and I can meet people, and there was a lot of issues that happened with lots of big streamers out there. You might have even heard it on articles or just heard it in passing from the streamers or other streamers themselves. But their mental health was hit quite hard during that time as well. So sometimes you kind of wonder, how do you do all this? How can you stream 6 days a week, 7 days a week? How can you do 8 hours a day? You know, how do you have that mental fortitude to power on through it when you're just not feeling like you want to stream today? You know? Like when I don't stream, I lose money. It's like it's simple as that. If I decide not to stream, or maybe it goes against me and I can't stream, then I lose money, of course. Ninja's watermelon, big muscle flexing. Welcome to you, Ninja. Thanks for pressing the follow button today. Stoic says, I tried being as normal as possible, but it wasn't possible. I'm on a disability and on medications to carry on and feel okay with it. I'll never have a normal working life again, and I'm okay with that. They aren't cheap, and thankfully I don't pay anything for the medication. What's worse is even if those people can work, because of precarious employment, they'll never have extended healthcare insurance and then lose their benefits because they make too much money to qualify for government programs. That's absolutely true. Firstly, sorry to hear that you're on disability. I've been there myself. Thankfully, it was only a brief period of time, which I alluded to earlier. But you're absolutely right in that some people make either too much money or they're self-employed, for example, and they don't get a lot of these benefits from their governments anymore because of such factors. Which is ludicrous in a way, because you might just about pass a certain threshold, like maybe by the smallest margin, and now you lose all these huge benefits. Now everything costs more. Like in Ireland, for example, if you earn over a certain threshold, your tax over doubles. Imagine having, just because you earned slightly more than the qualifying amount, now you have to pay double the tax. That effectively means, because you got that pay rise or something happened, you actually now are earning less than before because you went over the bracket, which is crazy. It's crazy. It's like, how do people make money when 42% of it is fucking taken from you? It's just crazy. John says, Stoic, I really don't know much about this subject, but normally normality is pointed out by the groups. If you go to the end of the world, what you consider normal is not normal there. That's true. Stoic responds by saying, in a Canadian context, I wasn't with the times and was punished and cancelled for it. Cancelled. See, you know what? I fucking hate cancel culture. It's dangerous and it's very harmful. Just because, for example, you said one thing like that someone didn't agree with, it offended someone. That's why I hate Twitter, by the way. I fucking hate Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I don't update Twitter as nearly as much as I should. I generally only use Twitter for basic things, but I don't log into it on a daily basis to get my news or whatever. But Twitter can be very, very toxic, and that type of toxicity extends outwards, but in particular in the Twitter sphere, is this cancel culture, which was probably more prevalent a little bit. I don't know, is it as prevalent now? But it definitely was a huge thing, especially over the last 2 years. That if you said one thing wrong, someone will get offended. They will then find a group of people who are also, who can get behind them. Whether they legitimately are also offended or not is beyond the point. And they can all get together and just try and cancel this person, this celebrity, or maybe it's just an ordinary person on YouTube or social media, a streamer, even myself. Luckily that's never happened to me, but you could just say something that one person doesn't agree with, and then they will just find their group of people, and then they just have all those people just build up such a fuss this negative cloud of energy and just throw it at people. You know, being like, this person is an evil, deceitful beast because he said this, or she said that, or da 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 da, you know? Not everyone is going to conform around your viewpoint. So if you don't like how other people view things, should you just go and surround yourself with people with the same viewpoint? Or should you go and listen to different people's viewpoints and get a good understanding? The right way to do it is absolutely the latter of that. Because if you just hang out with the people in your own sphere, that's not going to be good for anyone. Stoic says, considering Japan, borders are closed, and I still want to go as a tourist. Japan would be nice, says John. Also, Jay, I wanted to feel all that too until I realized even having a low-level supervisory position, I was so over dealing with people's bullshit. I know. John says, Jay, actually, I recently got a promotion at work, and I feel weird. I want to study veterinary and work from that, but not live up. What? But not live getting up and working. Okay. So yeah. So I understand. So, well, congratulations, John, on getting your promotion at work. Congrats on the hard work there. But you also want to study to be a vet and work from it, but you don't want to work to live as such. So that is definitely a very interesting point. Like, a lot of people get so consumed in their work that is literally the mentality that they will have to have. That they will adopt, you know? It's like, get up, work, repeat. 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, depending on what it is. Or maybe you have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. You never know. Working to live is definitely a shit feeling. But if you love your job, you might not see it that way. And I guess we want to get to a position, like a lot of countries at the moment are trying to adapt, or at least are talking about it, doing the 4-day work week, where they work 4 days a week and then they have 3 days off. Or else maybe those days are split, you know, around on and off. Kind of like a gym program. You have your rest day and you have your workout day, you have your rest day, your workout day, etc. So a lot of companies are trying to get into that. They're trying to get into that 4-day work week because they definitely want to get a work-life balance. And I think in a way, that's one thing that you want to get to eventually, is a work-life balance. Don't we all want to get a good work-life balance? Then again, I guess we want so much money that we can retire, you know, as early as possible in life. A lot of us might want that. And have a more easier life where at least for 8 hours a day or whatever it may be, you don't actually have to physically do something that you might not need to be forced into something. Stoic says, given how people are willing to gang up on someone in the name of a false social justice and absolutely ruin someone, I'm over getting any sort of job or responsibility where I have to even manage people. It is definitely a difficult thing to manage people. Even being some sort of group leader, team leader, been there, done that for quite a while myself. There's an aspect that I enjoy to being a leader, and I guess if you think of it in a way, I am being a leader in my own community. My lovely Discord community, my streaming community, my social media community. I am definitely a leader for my community, but I don't see it that way. Of course, I don't see it that way, but I'm very grateful that, you know, I have a community and I have my moderators who help out, and I have all you lovely people as well who, despite what happens, you just log in for a few minutes or even a few hours if you can on a regular enough basis as you can, or whenever you can, and you know, I'm very appreciated of that. Animals are better than people. I think a lot of people can agree with you on that one, Stoic. Ireland would also be on the table if I get a technology credential. Ireland's big with that. I enjoy so much to listen to you. Thank you, my friend over on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't pronounce your name. I don't know, is that possibly Russian or is it Greek or something like that? It's hard for me to see it on my chat, but thank you so much for enjoying that you like to listen to me. Terrific Turry, found out you were live right before my workout. Motivation. Yeah, my friend. Oh yeah. Hello Jay, happy streaming. Hello Terrific Turry, hope you're keeping well, my good man. And what is on the workout menu for Terrific Turry today? Fafnir says, thank you for your stream. It's good to have LGBT streamers, says Fafnir. Fafnir, you're very welcome, and thanks very much for tuning in as well. John says he has to go. Thanks for the nice words. Absolutely, anytime. John, hopefully you got to hear some of what I said before you had to go. Pensword says, normal has never been in the cards for me. Well, what is normal? What is normal? Is normal when you get up every day, go to a job, put on your suit or put on your tie or just put on whatever the hell it is and just do it? Is that normal? Is being like a sheep, is that normal? Do you have to, fit society's standards to be normal? I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck normal is. I'm not normal. I don't feel normal. I feel fine. I feel completely great in the way I am. Yes, it has its ups and downs, but to me, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm grand. I'm grand, as we say in Ireland. I'm fucking grand. Sorlan, Mr. SS Sorlan, big thank you as always, my man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, as always. Big muscle flexing. Thanking you for that lovely subscription once again. Can't wait to be back and being able to game and being able to get all the stuff on the screens for you guys, such as my stream raiders and all that stuff again. I wish my laptop could properly handle it. You know what? It might just be able to handle stream raiders, maybe. Guys, I don't know if the sun's going to properly come over to this direction again, because we're definitely battling with the sun to get good lighting in this room, because the lighting above me is not adequate, and I definitely don't have a big fancy ring light or something like that to shine on me to bring up my overall complexion. But that's what we have to deal with when we are traveling. The next time, as I said, for the next stream, which will be most likely on Saturday. Apologies I couldn't on Saturday, by the way. I probably will try and aim the camera over in this way, and I'm just looking the opposite way. That might be good to kind of battle with this optimization of light. Might not. But when the light is on, the light is fucking great. When the light isn't on me as well, I come out a lot more darker. So I know. Digikun, welcome my good man over on YouTube. And hello to you too. Digikun says about cancel culture. The topic on cancel culture. Digikun says cancel culture was always a thing all the way back to when we were chopping off the heads of the rich. The internet simply made it super easy and gave it a name. That is true. That is actually very true. That it was always there, but I guess with the whole with the internet, and particularly over the last couple of years, it's been so easy, as you said, like for people just to band together and cancel someone because they didn't they didn't agree with what your beliefs are, which is like, come on, like you can't force everyone to think the same, guys. Whether they're right or wrong is besides the point, but to them, with whatever it is, this is how they feel, or this is what they like or don't like, or whatever. And if they don't like something that everyone else likes, are they so bad for liking that thing? Once again, depending what it is, context, yada yada yada. But Uh, does it really bother? Ooh, wait, the sun might be coming. The sun is coming out a little bit. The sun is coming out a little bit. It's coming out to me. See? That's that sun. Shh. Stay very quiet, guys, or the sun will disappear again, which it probably will right now. But yeah, when it gets bright, it's nice. But like, if someone doesn't like or think the way that you do, does it bother you so much that you need to go onto, let's say, Twitter, where it's just rampant, and find the urge to band all these other people together and just get them out there to attack you in all these different ways? Because you said something, or maybe it was taken out of context, or they just don't like something that you like. It's a bit ludicrous, right? Aquino says there is a guy on Twitter who is getting Twitter beef due to his views on conspiracy theories, re COVID and Big Brother. Whilst I don't agree with him, I also don't agree with others who bash him and attribute his view to being mentally unwell. I've stayed silent, but I can't help but feel I should have said something. But see, the thing is that like you could say something, Aquino, but then they'll all probably come after you. And they'll be like, oh, so you're on his side. You believe with this conspiracy theory. The thing is, it's a conspiracy theory. It's a theory. Whether it turns out to be factually correct or not, you know, we don't know yet. I am definitely someone who subscribes to the belief that facts are the most important aspect of a story or theory. So if you give to me a story, an article or otherwise, based on facts, and you can back up those facts with what you're saying, or should I say, what you're saying is backed up with facts, then I'll be more likely to believe what you're saying. However, if I went onto Twitter and said, I don't know, give me some conspiracy theory. Okay, COVID. Because you said COVID in your example there. COVID was I don't know. What do people say about COVID? You know, it was, I don't know, it was a government, it was a worldwide government agreement between everyone in, you know, all the different continents. And they agreed that due to X, Y, and Z, you know, prices weren't high enough for this, or this wasn't this, or we need to change this. We're just going to all come together and we're going to like unleash this virus. We're going to have this backup plan that we will get vaccines. The vaccines are already been worked on. We will have to wait until they, you know, until they're redistributed around the world, who will take X amount of months, but just hang in there. This is what you need to do to avoid this so you don't get sick yourself. We'll get a couple of you guys sick just so it's more believable, and blah blah blah. Like, I could subscribe to this conspiracy and be like, this is what happened. But unless I literally have all these facts that all the governments decided to unanimously just take on this thing and decided all this stuff, and look, this is a memo, this is facts, this is what a printout of this is like voice recordings between these, all this different media and stuff. Unless you can give me all this stuff, or I could present you with all this stuff, my conspiracy theory is just that. A conspiracy theory. So, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So I don't think someone is mentally unwell because they have a different viewpoint or they want to believe in a different thing. Like, remember last January, for people in America, when the January 6th, it was the 6th, right? The January 6th march, you know, when Trump was pretty much saying to people, you know, let's march on the Capitol, let's, you know, stop Mike Pence from, you know, this vote thing. I'm trying to remember the exact things, you know. and marched to the capital, and then that big violent movement broke out, and some people died and people got hurt because they marched on the capital and they broke windows and they entered and they were threatening to kill different members of the Senate or whatever, and it was. And then, like, the conspiracy theories that drew from it, all the different things that drew from it, it's nuts. It's nuts. So I could definitely make a conspiracy theory. Oh yeah, they knew all about this or whatever. But unless I had facts and stuff to disprove it or to prove it, then that's, I'm pretty much just subscribing to the belief that this is a conspiracy theory, deal with it. This is what I said. I don't think I'd be mentally unwell, though. This is what I may want to have happened in my head or something. Or this is how I just viewed it. Chaos says, the history of cancel culture in religion just goes to show we were always a bit trashy like that. Cancelling people at the witch trials, cancelling Pokemon because it was the devil's work. Yeah, people are too quick to cancel. Well, people are too quick to judge, for one. They are definitely too quick to try and cancel. I think, yeah, when someone does something or something happens that doesn't go the way you want it to go because of how you were brought up or just, your belief in general, then you're going to go out and try and silence those people one way or another. Drakami, big muscle flexing, thank you, my man, for your 15th month of subscribing, and thanking you so much for that. So big muscle flexing, thank you, my good man, for keeping this channel alive. Much, much appreciated. Drakami, the more you know. The more you know. Exempted. There any gaming today, or are we enjoying the view for today? Exempted, we are enjoying the view, fortunately or unfortunately, just due to the fact that I'm currently traveling, and although I have a PlayStation and I can definitely game, if I was to put on the game on my laptop, well, at least stream it onto my laptop, my computer will break. I have tried it, it did not work out good, unfortunately. Now, what I did consider is using my camera to take the picture from the TV screen, so it doesn't have to be streamed through my system as such directly. But then the quality was not great. It was shit, to be honest. And I couldn't have you guys sit through such suboptimal conditions. So gaming as such will begin, and we'll do a hell of a lot of gaming when I get back to my apartment in Dublin in the middle of April. So just after Easter, guys, just after Easter. So I think it would be the 20th of April or thereabouts. I think that would be the Wednesday. I think that's, let me check. Do I remember? Yeah, I think it's like the 20th of April. That's when I should be all set up. That should be probably the first stream when I'm back in my studio in Dublin, and I'll be able to have big long streams again. Perfect picture quality, all the lights on me, audio perfect, very fast bit rates, and all this type of stuff. So we have to wait a little bit longer, less than a month, until I'm back and I'll be able to start gaming again, making all that lovely YouTube content on a more regular basis as well. Because I have so many ideas, I just need to get them done. Pyro, welcome to the chat, my good man. I hope you're keeping well. Oh, it's Israeli. It's Hebrew. Sorry, my friend on YouTube. I can't read the Hebrew words, unfortunately. At least I can't see it how it is here on my screen. But much love and much appreciated. I've actually been to Israel before. I've been to Tel Aviv. I've been over through to the Dead Sea. And what's that city just before the Dead Sea? Where's my phone? There's my phone. What is that city called? One moment, because it's going to annoy me until I actually get it right. Israel. Gotta zoom right in. What is that one called? Is it Jerusalem? No, it wasn't Jerusalem, was it? It might have been Jerusalem. Yeah, it was Jerusalem. Yeah. I've been through Jerusalem. I didn't think it was Jerusalem, but yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, that's just before the Dead Sea. Yeah, it was Jerusalem, Bethlehem kind of area. Yeah, so I've been to Israel before. There you go. Jay, if I give you a sub, do I get access to your OnlyFans? Says Lark. Lark, unfortunately, the sub here on Twitch doesn't apply to the OnlyFans. They're both separate. Now, if you're looking for a cheaper OnlyFans, like are you looking for a discount on the price? Is that what you mean? Let me know. Exempted. Oh well, that answers my question. Digicun clouds running, ruining the lighting. I know, Digicun. The clouds here are ruining my lighting, and the lighting in this apartment. Like I can't show you because then I'm gonna have to. Wait, no, I can't show you as easily on my laptop. But yeah, the lighting above me are these like small little squares of lights dotted throughout the room, and they definitely do not light me up as much as the sunlight outside does. But unfortunately, there are lots of clouds today. Unlike yesterday was amazing, so sunny. And today it's warm, but it's definitely cooler. And as far as I know, like the skies are practically blue, but unfortunately above the sun, right? Like I'm looking out the bathroom window over here, and the skies are almost clear, but there's still a couple of clouds that just kind of float. They're kind of like staying around the sun, and that's giving me the picture quality without the proper brightness here. It's unfortunate. Now, if I was higher up maybe and just set in a certain position for the sun, probably be better. But I can't just do that, unfortunately. I can't pick up this apartment and move it. It's just not how it works. But yes, while I'm traveling, people, unfortunately, we don't have the proper lighting. We don't have my studio set up. I don't have my gaming. I don't have all the stuff that I normally would have on these streams. But don't worry, in less than a month, we'll be back. To normal action. Ilya, is that Ilya? Big muscle flexing. Welcome to you. Thank you for pressing the follow button. Hello, Lilia says, hello, I don't know your language well. I'm from Russia. Therefore, I will communicate through a translator. Excuse me. Hello, everyone, chat. Lilia, you are very welcome, and I hope things are going okay in Russia. And, of course, elsewhere as well. I know not everyone wants to be part of this this war that's happening, unfortunately. Archangels, titty bounce. We want a titty bounce. Ark wants a titty bounce. What do you mean? I don't know how to titty bounce. How do you do a titty bounce? I don't know how to do titty bounces. By the way, I did chest yesterday, and my chest feels so full. Although it might not look so good on the camera right now, but they feel so full and of love. They feel so full of love. And Jerkami's all happy. Chaos says, crazy people been giving a platform and an echo chamber. Enough people believe it and suddenly it's truth. That's it. Like, remember people, during COVID in particular, if you were on like Twitter and especially Facebook, it seemed to happen more. It's like, if one person came out and says, well, my friend or my doctor or I know a scientist who said this, you know, everyone started to believe it because his friend, who's a scientist or a doctor, said this. Sure, I could easily go onto Facebook and be like, yeah, guys, I've been just to my scientist friend, and he said, don't worry, COVID is, you know, it's just a cold. There you go. And I sent that out on Facebook, which I'm sure lots of people probably did. Then there you go. That's a lot of harm gone out there. I've literally just made this up off the top of my head. And there we go. So it's just how it is. Pyro says, don't worry, they look very full. Yay! They look better in person, Pyro. Chaos says, oh, I forgot to ask, how is Miami crowds? I hear the mayor declared a state of emergency and curfew, but maybe it was in a different area. Yes. Okay, so I only heard, you know what, I was actually in the area at a few hours before it happened, funnily enough. I was actually in that exact spot that it happened as well. So let me clarify what chaos is on about, guys. So basically, on Saturday slash no wait, it was Sunday slash Monday. It was like the early hours kind of thing, and I would have been there a couple of hours before that in the early evening. Early to later evening. At the time, but there's an area in South Beach, Miami, and the area in particular of South Beach was this really, really long street, and it's a very, very popular street for bars, hotels. Ocean Drive, it's called Ocean Drive, and I don't know if anyone here may have been to Ocean Drive in South Beach, Miami before, but basically what happened was there was a shooting. And some people died. I think 2 people died in this shooting. But during the day, when I was there, in the evening and during the day, there was massive crowds, drinking and just having a good time and whatever. But in this particular area of Ocean Drive, which I literally walked past twice, one going towards one way and one going back to the car. But we went out for a few drinks myself, and before we went out for dinner, and then we went out for more drinks a little bit later. As my first time in this particular area. So what happened, there was a shooting, and I was there a few hours before it, but as a result of this shooting, the mayor declared a curfew. So pretty much this weekend, I think it's from Thursday to Monday or something like that, there's now a curfew in effect for people to get off the streets. If you're in South Beach, Miami, you are not allowed out. I don't know, is that a regular occurrence in the USA, that if there is a shooting, is it normal for a mayor or someone to declare these type of things? I wasn't, like, as an outsider, I'm not aware of that curfews were put into place when a shooting happens. It's the first time I've ever actually heard of it. Obviously, in Europe, guns aren't really a thing. It's very rare, of someone with a gun. But obviously, with the USA, and is it the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, or whatever the hell it is? A lot of people carry guns here, and yeah, absolutely. Just walking around here, I'm like, do you have a gun? Do you have a gun? Do you have a gun? You're like, you don't feel safe sometimes, unfortunately. And not funnily, but crazily enough, while I was walking through South Beach on Ocean Drive this weekend, we definitely got a sense of being unsafe. There was definitely a real sense of being unsafe in this particular area due to the crowds, due to the type of crowd as well. You definitely felt a bit unsafe. And once again, I'm saying funnily, but crazily enough, that sense, that intuition came true, because then a shooting happened. that killed two people, or at least two people. I think it was two people. So sometimes when you feel a bit unsafe, maybe it really is. It's not just you're just thinking of it, you're just dreaming of it, or it's not real. It might literally be your intuition saying something is going to go down here. Do not stay here for too long, or get out of here as quick as possible. That kind of fight or flight response kind of thing. Um, but yeah, it is pretty crazy to be in an area that a shooting literally broke out in. Um, but I guess when you're in a country that values guns so much, you're playing with fire. You could literally just be walking down the street, and this could happen. It can happen to anybody. Wrong place, wrong time. But yeah, guns are crazy, guys. Guns are crazy. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. As I said, are curfews implemented a very common occurrence here? Is it a normal reaction when there was a shooting and people died? But even like in the area, while I was walking through the crowds, like there was a sizable police presence at all times, because even they probably were like, yeah, we need to keep our eyes open here, because there was a big crowd. The crowd, you know, you definitely got that sense, as I said, it wasn't going to be a safe crowd as such. There's something going down. Doesn't mean that everyone is suspicious or whatever, sussy. But yeah, you just got that sense, and you're just like, hmm. It's just how it is. Just how it is. Tyler says, "Hi, Daddy." Hey, Tyler. Hope you're keeping well. Also, Tyler says, can I ask for some advice? I don't have a dad and I'm only 17. I've never kissed a girl, and every time I go near one, I cry and feel sick. How do I get my confidence up? Thanks. Um, well, firstly, sorry to hear that you don't have a dad, my man. A father figure uh, is definitely a great feature to have in your life, if you can have one, because you can go to him and ask him these type of questions, or you'll have that fatherly figure in your life, and I can't imagine what that's like, because fortunately for myself, I've never had that issue growing up without a family, with a parent. So apologies for that. But realistically, what you could do, Tyler, is if you have any good friends that you're close to, some good company, it's always good to have some good brotherly type of advice out there. Some friend, or maybe even another family member that you can go to. But what I would say personally, since you're asking me, if you're just not feeling confident, I would try and ask myself, okay, why? Why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel like I'm not confident? You know? What can I do to maybe change this? Why do I get nervous? Why do I feel like I'm going to get sick or cry or whatever it is? Um, Try and examine that, and maybe you can change it. Like, is it the thought that, oh, I might get rejected? She'll say no, or she'll make some reaction that will make me, like, question a lot of things about myself, like I'm not, I'm undesirable or whatever. Like, it's definitely okay to kind of feel this way, that it can happen, but at the end of the day, the worst thing she can say is no. If she doesn't want to, if she doesn't want to kiss you, or if she doesn't want to talk to you. The one thing that people, not just girls but people in general, find very attractive is confidence. So it doesn't mean that you need to be the most macho man out there. It doesn't need to be that you know the answer to everything, or you're going to be ready for whatever situation occurs. But what I would say to you is that, just all the worst thing she can say is no. If she doesn't want to talk to you, or she doesn't want to kiss you or hang out with you or whatever, the worst thing she can say is no. And if you know that that's the worst thing she can do, that's it. No. Sorry, no, not interested. Cool. And if she says no or she's not interested, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. Just remember that. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. She might not be in the right place. You know, something might have just happened. Something bad in her life. Maybe she just had a breakup with boys and she's like, ew, boys, ugh, blah. You know? You never know. So yeah, don't put yourself down if she's like no. It might not be you. So just remember that as well. Alright. Also, Big Muscle Flexing, thank you, my good man, for pressing follow. Big Muscle Flexing, welcome. Also to Okat, okay cat, Big Muscle Flexing, welcome to Okat as well. Thanks for pressing the follow button. Tyler says thank you. I'll do some work on myself. You were really helpful. I followed you. Thank you. Also, how old are you? You look great. I'm 33, my good man. I'm 33. Irish and 33, currently sat in Miami, Florida on holiday and being with you guys for an extra couple of minutes before I have to travel to go gym and stuff. All good. Uncle Mate says, I like your boobs. I like my boobs too, so thank you so much. We like boobies. We like boobies here. But yes, thank you, Uncle Mage, thank you. And Uncle Mage, you're a mage? A mage in what game, my good man? What type of game do you play that you're a mage? Do you play some sort of RPG type game?